Kasabay ng investigasyon ng Malacanang sa umano'y anomalya sa flood control projects, ipinag-utos ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ang lifestyle check sa mga opisyal ng gobyerno, lalo na sa Department of Public Works and Highways.
Ipinag-utos ni Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. ang pagkakaroon ng lifestyle check sa lahat ng mga opisyal sa gitna ng investigasyon patungkol sa maanumalyang flood control projects. Kasabay nito, binigyan diin ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. ang tuloy-tuloy na pag-check sa mga records ng DPWH kaugnay sa mga maanumalyang proyekto.
Ang Manila LGU may ginagawa ring investigasyon kaugnay ng mga flood control sa lungsod. Ayon kay Manila Mayor Isko Moreno Dumagoso, umaabot sa mahigit 14 billion pesos ang kabuang alokasyon para sa flood control projects sa 6 na distrito ng Maynila mula taong 2022 hanggang taong kasalukuyan. Sa kabila nito, palpakan niya ang mga proyekto dahil matindi pa rin ang mga pagbaha sa Manila sa tuwing umuulan. Ang sisti pa na pag-alaman ni Mayor Isko na ang lahat ng proyektong ito walang permit.
Bumaha ng pondo sa Maynila, bumaha pa rin sa Maynila. Now, itong lahat ng ito ay walang permit sa lungsod. Ulitin ko, bumaha ng pondo sa flood control sa Maynila, amounting to 14 billion, and yet the people of Manila and those people studying, working, doing business, going in and out of Manila continue to suffer with the flooding.
Tumanggi ang alkalde na tukuyin ang mga dapat managot sa mga palpak na flood control. Anya, hahayaan niya ang Office of the President na pangalanan ang mga sangkot sa mga anomalya.
Ayokong pangunahan ng Pangulo sa investigasyon na ginagawa. I think they have more resources to tell the people who is liable or not, who've done projects properly, o baka meron ding guni-guni. If I may borrow the words of the President.
Pero bago ito una ng sinampahan ng Manila LGU, ang kontratista na Chelsea Construction and Supply ng patong-patong na reklamo sa prosekusyon dahil sa pag-iba nito sa Rizal Avenue Sports Athletics Complex o RASA Covered Court sa Santa Cruz, Manila para sa pagpapatayo nito ng 145.5 million na multipurpose building. Hindi umano ito kumuha ng demolition at building permit sa lungsod nang gawin ang demolition at simulan ang naturang proyekto.
Pagka ordinaryong tao, hirap na hirap kumuha ng permit sa Maynila o sa local government. Pero pagka malalaking kumpanya, parang pinabaliwala nila ang pamalang.
Nadiskubre ring hindi pa aprobado ng OP ang nasabing multipurpose building at kabilang ang Chelsea Construction sa listahan ng mga nakakuha ng proyekto para sa flood control kung saan nakasecure ito ng 1.43 billion projects.
Sila ay mga kumpanyang nakasama sa mga binanggit ni Pangulo at reported sa website ng Office of the President. Yung what you call isumbong mo sa Pangulo. Yes. They're one of those.
Giit ni Moreno, ito pa lang ang simula ng serye ng aksyon ng LGU laban sa mga kontratistang lumalabag sa regulasyon at hindi kumukuha ng kaukulang permit.
Ito ay umpisa ng mahabang journey of local government unit going after to the contractors without seeking necessary permit and complying with rules and regulations to protect the interests of the people of Manila and its property under the supervision, authority, and management by yours truly. As you all know, last week we were caught in surprise of an incident in Rasak Santa Cruz, Manila. With that, through the weekend and holidays, your city government officials have conducted thorough investigation. And we have made a decision to pursue legal means against a corporation doing business in the city of Manila and abusing their business practice and doing unlawful business practice in the city of Manila. Now, today the city government of Manila will be filing criminal charges against contractor GLC Construction and Supply, represented by its general manager, Jess R. Mahusay, for illegal construction of the Centro Comunidad de Santa Cruz project within the Rizal Avenue Sports Athletic Complex, or commonly known as RASAC. The following criminal charges will be filed against the contractor. First case to be filed: special cases of malicious mischief under Article 328 of the Revised Penal Code, as amended, for causing damage for RASAC facilities, including the satellite office of the city government, police outpost, daycare center, performance stage, among others. Complaint to be filed before the City Prosecutor's Office by the City General Services Office. Second case: unlawful demolition and construction without necessary permit in violation of the National Building Code of the Philippines. On what ground? Demolishing the RASAC covered courts and other government structures therein without securing necessary demolition permit from the city building official, which is a clear violation of the National Building Code. Started constructing the multipurpose project without coordinating with the local government of Manila as instructed by the local government code. And if I may share some particular section of the local government code violated, Section 26 and Section 27 of the local government code, RA 7160. And for failing to secure building permit from the city building official, which is again a clear violation of the National Building Code. Complaint to be filed by before the City Prosecutor's Office by Department of Engineering and Public Works of City of Manila. Third case: unauthorized taking of government facility in violation of the Republic Act number 10344 or 10344, or the risk Reduction and Preparedness Equipment Protection Act for demolishing the Rasak facility, which has been an important location for evacuation and humanitarian purposes. The same facility is used as evacuation centers or center in times of disasters, fires, and other calamities. And as you all know also, if I may refresh your memory, it was utilized during the time of pandemic for our homeless individual exposed to COVID-19 in the streets of Manila. Complaint to be filed before the City Prosecutor's Office by the Manila City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office, or NCDRRMO. Pangapat, the civil aspect of the crimes mentioned above will be filed separately. The City Government of Manila has filed the demand letter to GLC Construction and Supply Incorporated for illegally demolishing or demolished government structures and facility, which is owned by the City Government of Manila. And at the time of construction, especially at the time of Mayor Alfredo S. Lim, the value of it is 10.4 million pesos. I have here the certification, which will furnish you a copy of this following certification later on. This is to certify that based on our official records, the Rizal Covered Court located in Alvarez Street, Santa Cruz, Manila has a net book value of 10,441,796.60 as of August 22, 2005. Issued this 22nd day, August 2025, City of Manila. Signed, Assistant City Accountant, Officer in Charge, Jonathan Galorio. Another certification from OBO, Office of the Building Official. This is to certify that no record of building permit was issued under the name GLC Construction and Supply for the project construction of multipurpose building Centro Comunidad de Santa Cruz, Manila City, Phase 1. Located at Rizal Avenue, corner Alvarez Street, Manila. As stated in the National Building Code of the Philippines, Presidential Decree number 1096, Chapter 3, Permits and Inspection, Section 301 of the Building Permits. No person, firm, or corporation, including any agency or instrumentality of government, shall erect, construct, alter, repair, move, convert, or demolish any building or structure or cause the same to be done without first obtaining a building permit, therefore from the building official assigned in the place where the subject building is located or the building work is to be done. Signed, Manila Building Official, Rogelio Vicente. This is the certification. By the City Accountant. Third certification. This is to certify that no record of demolition permit was issued under the name GLC Construction and Supply for the project construction of multipurpose building, Centro Comunidad de Santa Cruz, Manila, Phase 1, located at Rizal Avenue, corner Alvarez Street, Manila, by this office. As stated, the same in the National Building Code of the Philippines, Presidential Decree number 1096, Chapter 3, Permits and Inspection, Section 301 of the Building Permits. No person, firm, or corporation, including any agency or instrumentality of the government, shall erect, construct, alter, repair, move, convert, or demolish any building or structure or cause the same to be done without first obtaining a building permit therefore from the building official assigned in the place where the subject building is located or the building work is to be done. Signed, Manila Building Official Rogelio Vicente. Walang demolition permit. Walang building permit. Sinira ang property na pag-aari ng taong bayan sa lungsod ng Maynila nang walang kaukulang permiso o prosesong sinunod ang GLC Construction and Supply. This afternoon, we will file cases against these people as mentioned with regard to the violation, criminal charges, and civil. Thank you for your time. I may now entertain some of your questions.
During natin na paki-state na po yung outlet, ako pangalan.
Good morning po, Yorvin.
Hi, Sian.
Sian Ambrosio po from ABS-CBN. Yorvin, yung pinabanggit po ng company, isa lang po ba yung sa pinabanggit ni Presidente? Parang familiar po yung name.
Yes. Sila ay mga kumpanyang nakasama sa mga binanggit ni Pangulo at reported sa website ng Office of the President. Yung what you call isumbong mo sa Pangulo. Yes. They're one of those.
So, meron po kayong mahabang list ng mga companies involved, related po to sa flood control project. Kakasuhan din po ba ninyo yung mga ito?
This is the flood control project done in the city of Manila 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025, amounting to more or less 14 billion done in Manila. So most of it finished already. Bumaha ng pondo sa Maynila, bumaha pa rin sa Maynila. Now, itong lahat ng ito ay walang permit sa lungsod. Yes, we are investigating them. And they are also being investigated by the Office of the President. But that is the thing of the past. Sad to say, ulitin ko, bumaha ng pondo sa flood control sa Maynila, amounting to 14 billion, and yet the people of Manila and those people studying, working, doing business, going in and out of Manila, continue to suffer with the flooding. Gusto niyo malaman per district? Per district? Ginalo. District 1, 3.4 billion. District 2, 2 billion and 59 million. District 3, 4.2 billion. District 4, 1.3 billion. District 5, 1.1 billion. District 6, 2 billion and 60 million. Total of 14 billion, 313 million, 132,309 pesos and 12 centavos from project allocation for the year 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. At malamang sa hindi, kulang pa yan. Kasi ang lahat ng ito ay kinuha lang namin sa website ng Pangulo. Yun ay nakaraan. Ngayon may bago pa. 112 new ongoing projects without permit, without paying regulatory fees for the local government of Manila. Particularly, contractor's tax. Pag ordinaryong tao, nag-a-apply ng demolition permit. Pag ordinaryong taong nagpursigi, nakaipon, papaayos ang bahay, kumukuha ng building permit. And they pay regulatory fees, like what you call contractor's tax under the Manila Tax Ordinance. These are ongoing. We'll send you a copy of this. And yung mga binanggit ni Pangulo na mga kumpanyang paborito, nandito rin. Kayo na ang humusga. Konti-konti lang po ito. Random. 145 million, 97 million, 140 million, 94 million, 80 million, 142 million, 141 million. Kadikit-dikit pa yung numero. 141 million. GLC ulit. Ang daming GLC. 141 million, 94 million, 94 million, 140 million, 142 million. Mukhang paborito nila yung 140 million. Kasi tinitingnan ko lang naman random lang. So this is ongoing. And we continue to investigate. Now, hopefully, after today, they will learn a very good lesson. As I have said before, again and again, welcome kayong magnegosyo sa Maynila. We welcome development in Manila. Immaterial of political color, as long as you follow simple procedure. Ang masakit yung pagka-ordinaryong tao, hirap na hirap kumuha ng permit sa Maynila o sa local government. Pero pagka malalaking kumpanya, parang pinabaliwala nila ang pamalang. So, we are investigating them. Yes, Sian.
last question na from
Sure.
So, rekta tanong po, Yorme, sino ang tingin niyong dapat sisihin sa pagbaha sa Maynila?
Well, as far as ayokong pangunahan ng Pangulo sa investigasyon na ginagawa. I think they have more resources to tell the people who is liable or not, who've done projects properly o baka meron ding guni-guni. If I may borrow the words of the President. No? But first things first, yung para muna sa aming mga taga-Maynila. Mauna muna ang taong bayan. Nagagamit ang building na iyon sa pangaraw-araw na pamumuhay ng komunidad sa Santa Cruz. Biglang nawala, napagkaitan ang mga taga-Maynila. That is my obligation. Hopefully, someday, somehow, magkaalaman din kung sino ang mga taong may kapabayaan.